What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the show about nothing. I'm your host, JunesEightyEIght, and the homie Izzyphatasmo. What's going on, brother man? What's popping? What's cracking?
As you see, uh, something happened that
He looks like a guidance counselor at a high school in the inner city.
yeah, you can say that.
In Bankhead, Georgia. Like he in Bankhead, Georgia, where people got
And Bankhead out in Atlanta trying to
got to
keep
keep
the
the
youth.
youth contained, like trying to be a positive role model for the youth.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, we love
Like,
the kids.
Greg, you ain't gotta sell the. You ain't gotta be dabbling in the activity, the paraphernalia, man. Get your life. You could be something.
Yeah, like you don't got to go out there sipping on a 40, smoking on a roach, acting like you big time or something.
This all I know, Mr. Phantasm. That's all I know, man.
Is all you know. Well, guess what? You can forget about that. Live your life, dream.
Exactly.
Anyway, though, but yeah, you know how it is when you got the facial hair on your face. You know how it is. You know, you try to fix it up a little bit, and then you cut one side a little bit lower, so then you cut the other side to match it. But then you kind of mess up, and you're like, well, might as well go ahead and.
You do that a lot. You be telling me, hey, just go to the barbershop and get it done. Though. Why you do it yourself and got to shave your whole facial? Shave everything. Just let the professionals do.
Maybe it's time to do that, but then again, though, that's like, bro, it's like it depends on where you go. If you
You don't have a set barber,
huh?
You don't have a set barber like you one personal barber that you go to.
I mean, I did, but like, I don't think they're at the shop that I went to anymore. Like, there was one barber that I would go to that I was very, very particular, that like knew how to cut my hair correctly.
Yeah.
And like, he was really chill. We spoke sports. Like, dude was tattooed everywhere, like a real chill dude and whatnot. He ended up moving. He left. He sold the shop to a friend of his that just graduated out of
barber college.
Out of college, you know, the cutting hair or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then they worked for a little bit with each other. Then he ended up leaving with his wife to go to Vegas, and then they ended up moving back up to Cincinnati, where they're from.
Okay.
He's back over there ever since. After that, well, like once he left, I was like, "Oh dang!" Like, all right. So I've been just going about, you know, here and there. Like, there's one spot that's like 2 minutes away from the house, but it's mostly just to, you know, for the hair, the facial hair. I don't really worry about it because like I can clean it up to the best of my abilities, and it's not hard. It's just like there are moments where like I try to like even it up on both sides, and then that's when things kind of get out of whack. But even if I go to the barbershop and I tell them, you know, I do want to line up, they don't leave it lined up where I have it. They'll drop it all the way down. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted, but okay.
I feel you. Like I said, back in the day when I was getting my hair cut back in high school, I had one barber. That man cut my hair from 2000 and shoot, he did. Kevin start cutting my hair. 2002, all the way through high school, all the way through college. I don't know what happened to him. I think I heard through my mom, like she said, she think he passed, something like that, but.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I remember I saw him last time I saw him, we was at Quick Trip. And I don't know how dude saw me. Like, I had my back turned and he like, hey, T. I'm like, Cam. And I like, bro, how you been, man? Like, that dude saw me from like junior high. Oh, he saw me like he really watched me.
Oh, so he was with you as you were growing up.
Yeah, like that was like my brother. Like
Right.
he lived a different lifestyle. He was a different kind of person. Like,
Matter of fact, there was another barber that I knew. So when I was living 30 minutes away from where I am now, right? There was this barbershop called New Image. Now there's two of them. There's two of them. Two of that shop. The one I would go to was the New Image 2. New Image 2, was it?
Limited 2. That's a store.
Not limited to New Image.
No, I'm not saying you said limited to us. Oh, that's a used to be a store back in the night, back in the day.
But yeah, like so there was this dude that So I knew I knew like one of the barbers already because he went to the same church I would go to, right? And then there was another one that when the barber that went to my church wasn't available, this dude, kind of, took over and, really helped me out with my hair.
Yeah.
This boy right here cut me up clean. And I mean, like, I had the hair a little bit longer, so he knew how to style it, faded it out correctly, and all that. Like and we talked, like we had like some dope conversations with each other, right? And we chit chatted and like we really kicked it. And like after a while, like we moved out from where we were to where we at now, and I haven't been back since. I don't even know if he's still around. Last I heard, I think he left or like they switched up management or something like that. But then again, though, like it's been a while and I've been on this journey ever since of like trying to find like my personal barber.
Look,
I did find a Latino barber shop like a few weeks ago.
our Latinos cut hair like a mother love.
Boy, let me tell you.
Hold on. I remember the last when I got my hair. I remember one time. I remember everybody remember that. It's all like it's just sometimes when you get your when you get your hair cut, your barber, it's just I don't know what it is. Like he cuts you up real good, but sometimes there's that one particular cut that just looks like you did something extra. I don't know what you did. Like, bro, what did you? You looking in the mirror like, what did you?
You feel it. You know there's something
Yeah,
different.
you feel like a different man. You feel like a different man. Like, woo!
As soon as you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, okay, I did. Wait a minute. Hold on now. What is hold on now. What did you do? Hold on now. Why do I feel so fresh today?
Hey, be like that. But yo, let's talk about this real quick.
You said
life
you came at me. You chopped it up with me. You were like, yo, I need to talk about something. I need to open up the show because I got something I got to get off my chest.
Okay, I was talking to this young lady yesterday. I was
here we go. I think where we at?
no. Dig this. I've been knowing this girl for years.
Okay.
And she's cool, but she has the what is it called? I don't believe she lives in the reality that normal people live in.
Well, in today's society, a lot of people live in weird reality. I need you to be more
I
specific.
don't think you understand. She lives in this, I guess you would call it princess world, and just and so we talking, and I'm like, she talking about family situations going on.
Mm-hmm.
She's living in the house that her mom and dad stayed in.
Mm-hmm.
Blase blah.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna put too much out there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, so she said the house gonna be getting sold. I'm like, all right, so what you gonna do? She said, and we get to this whole not argument, this whole thing where I'm like, so where you gonna go? If he sells his house tomorrow, what are you gonna do? Like, what's going on?
Right.
We just keep talking and talking and talking, and then I'm like, what do you want to do with yourself?
Right.
And this is what kind of probably set me off. That really set me off, and I realized why I didn't talk to her in so long.
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
What do you want to do with yourself? She hit me with, I don't know. I'm like, girl, you in your 30s. You still don't know what you want to do with yourself. You don't know. I'm like, I get if we was in our youthful days. That would be cool. But to sit here and tell me at 30 years of age where you at, you still don't know what you want to do with yourself? And she said it so nonchalantly, like it was cool. I'm like, first of all, you
He
still.
took off the glasses. He didn't just take off the glasses. He threw them off to the side. You know it's serious.
And I'm like, I was like so frustrated. It's like, you talk about what I got going on, but you ain't got nothing going on.
Right.
I feel like I'm doing pretty good in life right now.
I mean, this man right here, he got some music on the way. He was sharing some snippets of some new tunes. By the way, I gotta say, man, Right down, right down. Yeah, write it down. That joint go hard, but okay, I'm sorry. I'm off track. I'll go ahead.
The fact you remember that part, that's how I know it's a bop. But it's just like I'm like
That joint, dude. I was it's just a quick little tip, and we'll hop back in, and I'll let you continue, dude. You hit me up like, hey, I got a dilemma. All right, what is it? How am I gonna push this song out? And then you played it. I like this. I'm like gaming, got my strobes in the back, just kind of going on, and I'm listening to the
his
tune.
room like an acid trip with all them lights in his room. Like,
Oh,
man.
hush.
Like,
Anytime,
there's LEDs and smoke in the room.
dude, all I know is that like I hear that song play, and normally whenever you play music, whenever like you give me a snippet of music or whatever, right? It sometimes cuts out, and maybe it's because the headphones, maybe that's what it is for me. But I had it playing, and you had the music on, and like it played perfectly. It was clear. I heard everything. All I could do was just like, yeah, I was riding with it. I was like, hold on now. This right here, I can vibe to this.
Hey man, that's how it is, bro. I just try to make. I'm in the. I told you I'm in a chill vibe, chill hot vibe right now.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, how do you not know what you? And the thing about it is, we've had this conversation. I've had a conversation with many people. Like, I
Even
told
with
like,
me,
what's up?
even with me, we've had this talk.
And it's like I'm like, my main goal with anybody is, what do you want to do with your life?
Right.
I'm like, why are you just? Because a situation is kind of is kind of like is like from how it's like if you don't figure something out, you're gonna be looking like Will Smith at the end of Fresh Prince, just in the living room looking around like, where do I go now? I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, my thing is, if your safety net is gone, if your mommy and daddy can't help you anymore, and they're like, yo, your old ass got to get it on your own. Can you go out there and survive on your own? Can you make it on your own? I'm like,
Here's
that's
the question. Here's my question. Has she ever been by herself before? Like, has she?
no,
So all she has known is where her parents' home, right?
yes,
Okay, so I can relate to this. Believe it or not, I can actually relate because of my situation right now.
right,
And I believe the reason she's in this mindset that I don't know what I'm gonna do, there's a fear of falling, but also there's a fear of the unknown. And it's very, and it's not uncommon. It's not. Now, I get that, being in your 30s, there's this thing where like you have to have an idea of what you want to achieve or like where you want to be at, and like you want to have that idea or that plan of attack of like, okay, I need to be X. I need to be at this point in my life by this certain amount of time or whatever, right?
yeah,
But the thing is though, like um we could have all these plans and whatever.
right,
It's just certain situations in life may come around that could derail us or throw us off track. And then what happens is the plans that we did have or the ideas that we did have or the what we were thinking about doing, or how like that little idea of like I need to be at this point within a certain amount of time, it gets pushed back, or we're going to have to alter it. And that's where that point of unknown is like really at, because like if you have to alter your plans due to unforeseen situations, or let alone like maybe you did something or you got involved in a situation and it derailed your plan, or it kind of like threw you off course because like of your own doing, like you thought you had the right idea, you thought you had the right move, you made the right move. It's just like
but see,
up the gun, you know what I'm saying?
because I told her that too. I told her like I use my life, and I talk to you about it off camera, but that part like,
Throw the
but
hoodie
I
person, man.
because I feel like there was like I told there was a part of my life where I always tell people when it looked like I had it, I didn't. It looked like I had it. I did not have it like that. The way it looked on visually, and then when it looked like everything was cool, I did not have it like that. It was a
Right.
part where it was like, oh, I didn't tell anybody what was going on. Only a select few people knew what was going on at that time.
Oh
Only
yeah.
so I'm like, but at the same time, I never stopped working on what I wanted to do. I never allowed it to hinder me or discourage me or anything. I wasn't just sitting back like, all right, uh, what's next? What's this? What's that? And what, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm like, I look at this like, God got something for me. It's cool. I'm not gonna worry. I may not be have the materialistic things that I want right now, but that's gonna come, and they
Right.
did. But I'm like, for her, I'm like, I was looking at her situation. I was like, and it's not bad. So I'm sitting back like thinking like, I get some people that are content with, I want to work and travel. That's it. I don't want nothing else. I want to work, save my money, travel the world. Cool.
Right.
I don't have a career. I don't want to do the music, the art, the fashion that I don't want to do it. And that's fine. I don't that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if somebody asks you, what do you want out of life? I don't know, man. I'm more stable. I'm more like, all right, somebody tell me, I just want to, I'm just good where I'm at. I'm good working. I'm good doing what I'm doing. I'm making good money. Yeah, yeah. I work my way up the corporate ladder. I'm saving money, blah. That's fine. But to know somebody and it's the same thing, like you're not, I'm more like, I would have been like, it's like the same thing, conversation with somebody. I'm like, and it's not just hurts, but people in general, like, yo, just have something to do. I'm like, I'm like, I get if we was kids, everybody, oh, what you want to do? She's like, I don't know, man. I'm about to start college. I don't know.
Right.
I feel like once you get to us, you got to either have an idea of what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Even like, if she was like, I'm at this, I'm like, I told like, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, Conway the Machine. All those guys are in their 40s right now, and they are thriving. I believe they got like a late start taking off, but they up there.
They in their 40s?
Yes,
What?
West Side Gun is 41.
Shut up. No way.
Yes, it's like all these people I look at like,
But you know what though? But you know what though? Now that you mentioned the age of like West Side and Benny the Butcher and whatnot, it it kind of really takes away the idea and the stigma of like, oh, by 30 you need to have been established already. Like
right.
you got people like you said, you got West Side Gun and Benny the Butcher. In the wrestling world, Diamond Dallas Page, LA Knight. If you look at those guys, they're in their 40s and they're in the top of their careers. Like, like I think Diamond Dallas Page, he didn't start wrestling professionally until like he was in his like mid to late 30s, early 40s. And by that time, he was really making like waves.
Yeah, like it's all about, like I always say, it's all about time. I just feel like if you passionate about something, if you really passionate, like I'm passionate about music, and it takes time to take off. It's not like you start music today and you're a mega star tomorrow. It don't work
Yeah.
like.
Oh yeah. Like if you're not willing, and I see this a lot with certain artists that I follow, they'll always post these like throwback pictures of like where of like shows that they did in like their friend's backyard in front of like maybe 20 people, 30 people. And then like they show like that same in that same picture, that same video or whatever it is, them in front of like crowds of thousands. And they're like, there's always that theme of like uh if you're faithful in the little things, then you'll be shown to be faithful in the bigger things in life.
Yeah,
So, I mean, there's that aspect of like, even if you start late or whatever, if you're willing to endure and just take the little things and just run with it with everything you have, with the same amount of like passion and drive and energy, and you put your everything into it, like you are going to be able to hit them heights. And it may not be in the time frame that you would have thought it or that you wanted, but sometimes, you know, things do take time, and there's a
Yeah,
lot of character development that has to happen in those times. And you know, it's one of those things where, like, again, you know, being in your early 30s or whatever, you may not know what you want right now, and that's not, there's no reason, there's no way to shame anybody about that, because, like, you know, things happen, situations come up,
and
you
hold on,
know,
before you say that. And it's not that me shaming her. I was like, it wasn't that. It was like the fact she said it so.
nonchalantly.
Yes, like she's talented. She can do a lot of things. Like you
Maybe
have.
she's just like, I guess she's gotten, and this is another thing that I was about to say. Maybe she's gotten comfortable where she's at, and
That's what it is. That's what it is.
she's
Cause
gotten comfortable where she's at.
yeah,
Like
'cause she was telling me.
she got complacent and she got comfortable in her position where she's at. And now that there's a possibility that this place that she's in could be uprooted and could be shaken up, it's forcing her to like really get, you know, look in the mirror and be like, okay, what do I got to do to like really move forward in the
That okay,
situation?
and that's what I was. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm like, what if your situation changes? What like, okay, you talk about this and that. So what are you gonna do if this happens? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go if something happens? Like if today you gotta move, where are you gonna go? Have you started? I cool. Was like saying I want to move to New York. I'm not gonna just my lease is up next. Like say my lease is up in top of the year. And I even start looking for anything. Like, bro, you gotta look for these things. You gotta start like you don't want to wait until
You don't want to wait for the
December.
last minute.
Yeah, like it's like if you gotta get out of somewhere quickly, I where
Yeah,
do you
no,
go?
it's like it's not if you want to get out of somewhere quickly. It's like it's more like if you know for a fact that something is going to happen. Like, for example, let's say you live in an apartment by yourself.
Right?
Like, let's say you live, yeah, like an apartment by yourself. Your lease is about to be up, and let's say the lease got kicked up a little bit to a point where, like, okay, maybe I'm not able to afford it, but you want to, you know, live somewhere else. You're not just gonna wait until like a week, 2 weeks prior. Like, if you know, like, let's say within a good 6 month span, hey, your lease is coming up, or like, even let's go even earlier than that. Like, let's say beginning of the year, you find out your lease is going to be up. Within a month of you find, within a few weeks of you finding that out, that research is going to have to like be, you have to be on that research of like,
Exactly.
okay, let me find what, and it all depends on, like, let's say, for example, like, let's say you love the area you live in, close to work, it's affordable. You got the grocery store right there next to you. You got the local barber shop. Like, you know the area, but you know that maybe where you're at right now isn't, you know, you're not gonna be able to deal with it. You're not gonna be able to do, you know, to live there. So you got to look for somewhere else that's maybe either close to the area or in that area. So you got to start looking like as soon as possible. And like, the earlier you do your research, the better, because you could find better deals and better opportunities, you know, in that earlier time frame of searching, rather than just trying to find something last minute. Because if you're looking for something last minute, people will dictate that. They can jump on that and they will take advantage of it.
Yep. And I would just and I'll say that because like if you my friend, I want the best for you. That's the most. That's why I was fussing at like, yo, why are you so nonchalant and so chill about this? Like, this situation is not your situation doesn't look good right now. Like, you're very calm to be about to get hit with like a category F5 storm. Like, you're very calm for this.
Yeah.
Like you're very calm. Like right now, like to know this is about the the situation at hand may not
She got
go.
like a backup plan. Legit.
I don't think she has one. And
She doesn't have like someone that she could lean on while she's looking for her own spot, or this is
no,
like,
she tells me no. And I'm in once again, people, I'm not. It's not the bash. It's more of a. I'm teaching. I'm telling y'all this because I tell people have a backup plan. Have a contingency plan for everything. Like, all right, cool. If this happens, I can do this. This happens, I got this. I can. It's just. I'm like, yo, baby girl, just have a plan. Just have an idea of what you want to do. Like, they're like, no idea. And I'm like, I would, and it's vice versa. If it was me, I would want somebody to tell me the exact same thing. It's not like I want the best for this person because I've been knowing it for a long time, and like you gotta do better. Like you
Yeah,
can't rely on mommy and daddy to star you out. That's on anybody. That's on anybody. Like, I'm not can't star you out every time you need help.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, man, that was really that was one of the things. I was more aggravated, not because of the situation. Like I was more aggravated because she was just so calm and not like, you know, it was like no answer for anything that we was talking about. Like you were very calm for all this.
It's like you have no, you are not worried right now about this. Are you sure? But you know what though, like for her to be calm in the situation, it kind of leads me to believe that maybe she does know something. She has a little bit of knowing about something, or maybe she does have like some sort of plan in the works. She just doesn't want to like put it out there yet because she's not. She wants to make sure everything is like ready to roll. But I don't know the person. You know her more than I do, so I can't speak on that. That's just my assumption from what I'm getting from all this. But yeah, man, like I get it. There have been moments where like I've had to kind of like look into the mirror, like I've had to kind of look and like do a self evaluation, like okay, how do I want to attack certain things, knowing where I'm at right now, and you know, with the job that I have right now, it's making me kind of like look back on like what I had going for myself, and kind of like questioning a few decisions that I made prior, and just like okay, reimagining how I could go about and attack these things all over again. So yeah, it is a position that like, although it is easy to get comfortable in, it leaves you wanting more. And if
And,
you don't want more, that's when you have to question, what are you doing? Like what are you what are you there for? Like
and
why?
we're gonna switch gears. And after I say this, and the people who probably don't understand why I was so like frustrated because what I've been through, which I'll share with you offline. What I've been through, to know what I've been through and look at somebody, yo, I guess like when you've been through something, like, yo, if I can make it through that, you damn sure I know you can make it through this. This is easy work. You know what I mean? Like you used to live in a certain way, but some stuff come on, you can't live that way no more.
Right.
You gotta give up certain things that you couldn't have, that you was used to accustomed to years ago. Like if you was in school or whatever, you can't have that no more. You gotta you gotta you'll eventually get back to that eventually, but there's a space where I can't afford to do that anymore. That's not in somebody gets sick or you get sick or some happens randomly that's something complete out of your control. Like damn, you looking like man, I really gotta boss up and step up and becomes and be the that's what I'm looking at like that's what I'm like yo girl you can. Ooh, that's also tough. Like, man, like, yo, if you know what I've been through, shit.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's true.
But yo, where we at now? Where we at? Let's get. Speaking of head scratches,
Oh boy.
let me.
Oh
T-
boy. What do we?
I just want to kick it off like this. I'm in the Eagles group page on Facebook.
Oh boy, we talking about it, ladies and gentlemen. We are officially on our football talk. So let me just go
Yeah,
ahead.
we told y'all we switching up. We gave you a whole
Live.
to life talk, and
All right, let's
I'm
check.
looking at it. I was like,
All right, we back on now.
now I'm like, all right, call me conspiracy theory or whatever. I knew once San Francisco lost, the Eagles may lose.
Hold on now. Did you have that weird feeling in your? Did you have that weird tingling, like spider sense going off, saying like,
Yeah.
"Yo, this could be a bad day for us"?
I was like, cause my uncle, like, how you feel? Like everybody was just too calm about the Jets. Everybody was just every Eagle fan was like, "Oh, we got it, it's cool. We gonna run up the score, blah blah blah." I'm like, I missed it. It's any given Sunday for me.
That's what I've heard a lot of. It's any given Sunday.
So I'm saying like, y'all are just way too calm about this team. Then I said the Niners lost. Like, didn't y'all just hang 40 last weekend? Then,
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though, with the 49ers and even with the Eagles. Y'all played top 10 defenses, believe it or not. Cleveland's got like the number 1, number 2 rated defense. And the Jets are like up there as well. Like they're one of the teams they're stingy with the ball. They are stingy. They will run after it.
and I'm looking at like, Jalen Hurts played horrible. There's no the defense.
Can we say that that boy threw 3 picks in one game?
And
I think he threw 2 in one game, but 3?
Like, I don't know if the play caller Jalen Hurts not playing his style of football, but I say the defense, our defense stood and held up like I knew they always could. But I'm like, and then again, they playing on MetLife. Everybody get into that MetLife. People was dropping like flies in that goddamn game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was more concerned about, all right, man, y'all just play safe now. Like, we know the how MetLife Stadium is. Their stadium is not no good. People going there, they don't leave the same way.
Yeah.
So I was more concerned about them. Like, please nobody get hurt. Please nobody get hurt. I'm like, it's like, I'm thinking like, what happened? I'm like, we still lead them. We still 5-1. We still lead the division. That's cool. But at the same time,
oh yeah,
I can't call it. Like I said, we play Miami this weekend at home. I'm cool. We just clean that board, whatever was up. We just clean it up, get ourselves back together. But I'm like, nigga, the 9. I told him, I said in the group, like, what is it me or is it kind of weird that the Niners and the Eagles lost in the same fashion? And people like, yo, Vegas couldn't win with no 2 undefeated team. People like, yo, man. People really said somebody was pulling the strings. I'm like, at this point, I'm thinking he may be right. I'm like, I ain't no conspiracy theories. I ain't know like, they cheating. Like, bro, like some of the stuff, like at some point, like, bro, 2 teams, undefeated teams lose almost the exact same way. And the Cowboys, they win. Let's not talk about the Cowboys won, but y'all, they struggled as well.
That was a yikes. Well, pull of this. We did not see a Dak Prescott interception.
Surprisingly.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for a Dak Prescott interception to happen.
Like, I'm like, can't nobody say those are struggle. Those 3 games are struggle games. Like those games are like super struggling. I'm like, yo, that was like, I feel like if you gotta lose one and bounce back after that, I'm fine. But that was like, bruh. But then again, I'm like shady. Like, I didn't expect them to go. Eagles fans mad. Like, yeah, y'all thought they was gonna go 17-0. Y'all really thought they was gonna go undefeated this year.
I don't think anybody looked at the Eagles and was like, oh yeah, they're gonna go undefeated.
I didn't look at the Niners and say they was gonna go undefeated.
Niners, I mean, they got one of the best defenses that I think I've ever seen. Thus far, like they're one of the more complete defenses when it comes to like teams and whatnot. But when I look at teams like the Jets, let me see. I'm looking for them right now. Geez, wait, really? Wow. Are the Jets really top 5 right now? Cowboys are 4, San Francisco 3. Wow. Yeah. Cleveland ranks as the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL, and then the Jets are number 2 in defense, total defense. That should tell you something about like why those teams lost.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I look at it like this, man. When I saw the matchup the first time around for the Eagles, Jets, and Browns 49ers, right? Immediately I'm looking at like, I was like, okay, this has got to be like they have to be like a 7-point favorite. Both sides, both teams. Because like I just look at the Eagles being the more complete team on defense. Well, now that I think about it, I think defensively the Jets and the Eagles are evenly matched up. Like they both have great front lines. Their secondary can hold their own. Linebacker core, they can either play up with a receiver or a running back, or they can drive in and get pressure on the quarterback. Both teams have that ability. I think just like the thing that gives the Eagles the edge is your offense.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Jets have a pretty good offense as well. Like they got weapons. They got Lazard, they got Wilson, they got Breece Hall, Conklin at tight end. You got, the only thing that's questionable is Zach Wilson, but he's like getting better every week. Like he's starting to really get comfortable and really become his own. But with the Eagles, like Smitty, AJ, you got Goddard, you got DeAndre Swift, Jalen Hurts. Like they have one of the best offensive lines around. Like they're more well-rounded up on the offensive side of the ball. It's just that with the Eagles, I think the defense was just giving them fits. Like they were playing coverage as well. They were disguising things. They were showing a certain look to Jalen. And then once the ball was snapped and Jalen would go to a read, they would throw off they would like break into something else. And I think that's what really caught Jalen off guard is the fact that, Robert Saleh, like he's built that defense up to where like he knows how to mix and match these disguises and these defenses to really get the mismatches that favor his side of the ball more than they'll favor the offensive side of the ball. And as long as Zach Wilson isn't throwing the ball away to the other side, they can generate points and keep up with other teams.
Yep, and I just feel like I'm not upset about this loss. Cause I saw something like this happening anyway. The way we've been playing, the Eagles been playing, like they ain't played.
I've been questioning you guys about this one. We've had these conversations every time we've talked. I'm like, bro, ugly win. Ugly.
I told you I'd rather have the ugly wins than the wins.
But what else? But what have I told you? These ugly wins, if you don't play correctly, could catch you and bite you in the keister. And what happened?
It did. And like I don't know. And I can't say that. I think Jalen Hurts really stopped playing what he did, his style of ball. I really think he wasn't doing his thing. Like it was just like, bro, you gotta make up for this. Cause the score wasn't that bad. I mean, nobody's score was impressive coming out this week. It was like
Detroit did have a pretty impressive outing versus Tampa Bay, but like I watched that game. I watched the Detroit Tampa Bay game, and I was like, this game is closer than everybody. Let me go ahead and speak on this real quick.
Go ahead, talk about Detroit. The floor is yours.
Have I not told you? Give Detroit their respect.
Look here, I'm gonna tell you this about Detroit. 5-1. I ain't seen Detroit.
Now, hold on. Before you speak your mind, I'm gonna say this: they're 5-1. Yes. Are they on the same level as the Niners and the Eagles? I don't know why people are throwing that out there so quickly, but no, I don't see that. But please continue.
I don't think I ever seen the Lions play this good. I think they said the last time was 5-1, like 2011, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I read that. But I feel like the Lions have been the Lions since I was a kid. The Lions have been the Lions since before we were born. The Lions have never been much like since they had Barry Sanders. the Lions ain't been like a team to be afraid of. They ain't got that. They don't. I respect them that they 5-1. Like
Yeah, the line just to break it, just to like, yeah. So after the 28-6 road victory over the Buccaneers on Sunday, the Lions are now up to a 5-1 start for the first time since 2011.
I was right. Boom. Hit it with the fact check. But I'm like, I'm still not like, all right, the line, y'all. All right, let me see what y'all really going. Let me see what these next string of games. Like, I mean, we halfway through the season. I mean, like we at the mid, like, we in the halfway point. Like we almost through that joint. But I'm like, I want to see what the line's gonna do because I feel like I impress me. Come on, I impress me, Lions. Like, all right, because I'm like, I ain't never seen a Detroit Lion fan in my life. There's one guy I follow on Instagram, on Facebook, that's a Detroit Lion fan. One guy that's a Detroit. I've never seen a Detroit Lions fan a day in my life.
I'm gonna
I've
say,
never met a Lions fan a day in my life.
I'm gonna say this about the. I'm gonna say this. So, like I said, I watched that Detroit Lions Tampa Bay Buccaneers game because the Buccaneers, they were coming off of a bye week. They had just taken the first place in their division. They're 3-1 at the time. Detroit was 4-1 at the time, and this was going to be a defensive battle. And like literally, it was a defensive battle. Like both defenses were pretty much playing off of each other. They were like pretty much like establishing, themselves. Um, Detroit has been known for their running game. They only were able to get 40 yards of total offense on the ground, but the secondary was giving up a lot of air. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 12 receptions, 124 yards, and a touchdown to his name. Third downs were a big issue for the Buccaneers. They were able to get the Lions to go to get they were able to put the Lions in third and long situation, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, but the Lions would find a way to convert. And that's what hurt them. But what really hurt them was the offense. Baker Mayfield, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, they just could not get the ball moving. A lot of drops, a lot of overthrows, a lot of just missed opportunities. I watched and I listened to a lot of commentary about the Buccaneers after the game, on Sunday and Monday. And even yesterday, I was just listening to like different perspectives, and everybody kind of had the same. I kind of had the same thing. It seems like there was a lot of over analyzing and just like giving Detroit too much respect defensively because like Aiden Hutchinson coming off the edge, he's a disruptor. He's already got like 4.5 sacks. He's got an interception or two to his name already. Like this defensive line, they're able to like get pressure on the quarterback and really establish themselves. Now, Detroit only mustered up 1 sack in this entire game versus Tampa Bay. They were only able to get 1 sack, but they were able to make pressure, get pressure and really make the pocket muddy and really make Baker uncomfortable. The thing is though, like I feel like with Dave Canales being a first-time offensive coordinator for this team, I guess it was just like a whole lot of giving Detroit too many flowers too early and like trying to play up to that defense and like, yo, we know this defensive line is going to they're going to try and get to the quarterback quickly. So we need to get the ball out of Baker's hands. So we're going to do short routes and flats and, get the ball out in the backfield and see if they could turn it upfield or whatever. But what ended up happening is Detroit, they played on that. They played on that perfectly. They knew they after the first few series, Detroit knew like they're going to try and get the ball out quick. They're going to try and do short passes. So load the box and force them to throw. And that's what Detroit did. Like, I think the way that this defense has come together with Detroit, they've pretty much established that they can disrupt any offensive game plan or scheme. Now, the one thing I am going to say is this, though. They did this to a team that have little to no running game in the Buccaneers. They're still trying to figure out their running game. They're still trying to figure out their rushing attack.
Oh, before you say that, I gotta say one thing about I never, like I said, Detroit last year when they played the Eagles in in that home opener for Detroit. Like they were putting the funk on the Eagles. They was like Detroit wasn't letting up. They was really
Oh yeah, like
sticking it to us. Like, bro, like I feel
they
like
were making
Detroit.
they were making it hard for you guys.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I say Detroit a quarterback away. You disagree? I feel like Detroit is a player away. They're one big player away from being that complete team. Like, oh, they could lead the NFC. Like, yo, I feel like the NFC has to go through Detroit. That would be like what? It's like I need Detroit to get that. Like, if they got like a Marvin Harrison Jr., I think that'd be a good play.
I mean, they have a solid receiving core already. They got a solid running back room already. Like Jared Goff, as of right now, 1,618 yards passing, 11 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, a 73.3 QBR. That is fourth in the entire league. He is projected right now, like Jared Goff right now, I believe he is projected to get about 4,000 yards passing this season. Projected 4,000 yards passing. Like for me, I look at Jared Goff, and I know you said like he's only like maybe they're like a quarterback away. I'm actually looking at it right now. This is what is projected of him this year. Projected 4,584 yards passing with an 8-yard average, 31 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, and a rating of 105.1. That is projected of Jared Goff right now. After 6 games, that is projected of him right now. I think, and this is the conversation that I have with a lot of people, whether it's Jared Goff, whether it's Baker Mayfield, or any other player that just gets a different, like a fresh start. Sometimes it takes a change of scenery, and we've had this discussion before. A change of scenery to like really bring out the best out of a player. You know, sometimes you need to go to another place and be put in a position, be put in a system that really brings out your strengths, you know, that really works on who you are as a quarterback, as a running back, or as a player in general. Jared Goff has found that place in Detroit, and Dan Campbell and company have built a roster, have supported him with the right amount of like pieces, with players that are going to help him, you know, excel and really, you know, bring this offense to what we know it to be. Like, look, this team was averaging about 30 points a game. Like Detroit was averaging about 30, 35 a game. They got held to just 20 by this Buccaneers defense. And this Buccaneers defense is top 10. All right. Given the passing attack wasn't as great. But just to give you an idea, right? The first 5 games, right? They win, they go to Arrowhead on banner night for the Chiefs. They win 21-20. They lose.
And I promise you, I didn't see that. I'm like, yo, I was watching that like, yo, I said, Kansas City about to drop the top on them Bulls without Kelsey. Once I saw Detroit, I'm like, they went in the Arrowhead, rolled their sleeve up, looked Patrick Mahomes in the face, you know, punched him square in the mouth, and went to the middle of the field and pissed on the logo. He said, "This is my house now." That's what Detroit did.
That's what it. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it this, but they were able to get takeaways. That's what did it for them. They got 2. They got 1 intercept. They got a crucial interception off Patrick Mahomes. But here's the thing: they go to Kansas City on banner night for the Chiefs. They win 21-20, first game of the season. They lose in overtime to Seattle 37-31. The Falcons come into their house, they win 20-6. They go to Lambeau, they win by 14, 34-20. They play the Panthers 42-24 at home, and then they go to Tampa and they win 20-6. This team was about averaging close to 30 points a game. They only won 20-6 against Tampa. Now, like I said, they were able to make the pocket muddy and get pressure on Baker and make it uncomfortable for him. I want to see what they do when they play Baltimore this week, because You don't get to play guys like Desmond Ridder and Baker Mayfield and Geno Smith. And Geno Smith gave him a little bit of trouble because guess what? Geno's mobile. He can run. And guess what? Lamar Jackson, he can run.
Yeah.
So, like, if they can go into Baltimore, contain Lamar, force him into some very uncomfortable very uncomfortable situations where he's got to drop back and maybe, keep him in the pocket and like have to make a read or throw the ball.